witnessed a very late battle.
Well, it looks like that, but it may not be a battle. I think what has happened is that those royalist artillery pieces have gone too far forward, and the Parliament commanders are going to take advantage of unprotected guns and try and take them or force them or destroy them. And indeed, on the far side of the field, you can see the Parliament army moving very rapidly towards those artillery pieces.
They appeared quite unprotected to me, quite far in front of the Royalist main lines. What time is it, by the way, Robin?
It's nigh on 7 o'clock at night. Prince Rupert has hastily withdrawn from his tent and his late afternoon meal. He has gathered his troop of horse together, come back to the field somewhat nonplussed. The Earl of Newcastle, I see, is staying within his carriage. Parliament have pushing forward their entire line, bar one, and there is some confusion now amongst the rank and file of the Royalist army, some of which who were stood down for the evening. I will see if I can talk to Prince Rupert and gather what his mind says about his dispositions now. By the time, let me just speak to him. Oh, you are not... As he says, it's difficult to fight a war on an empty stomach. He's nonplussed, not happy. However, his troops have regained their composure, and he's going to rally them now to stand firm. I wonder what Oliver Cromwell and Fairfax and my Lord Leven have devised. Whatever it must be, he has to be very swift to conclude this action this day. Julie, have you any intelligence to give us?
Well, I understand that all the Parliament army has now arrived, and I think that the officers are eager to give battle to Rupert now. Parliament army are to their arms, they're ready to fight. Rupert has basically bedded down his troops for the night. They're getting their evening meals together, they've taken their armour off. So not only does Fairfax have numerical superiority, his army is ready to fight. And I can see on the far side of the battlefield that a body of men are advancing towards their guns. Is it going to be possible that Rupert is going to lose those guns so early on any battle?
Well, not only that, there are still troops very late in the day now arriving from York, and behind them, still 2 miles hence from the battlefield, is the main train of artillery ammunition. All that the Royalist army have now at their disposal is their immediate ammunition. They will have to wait for the main supply to arrive 2 miles over boggy ground. This could present a great problem.
Behind you, you can see that Parliament have taken the light guns from Rupert and the few musketeers that were protecting them, and they have turned their guns on their former comrades. They are now going to fight for Parliament.
That's not uncommon with the mercenary artillery of the time. As Robin said earlier, very frequently Dutch mercenaries from the continent who were very easily persuaded to change sides by the offer of extra money or just safety. But certainly we can now see that the Marquis of Newcastle's part of the army has marched on to the field, having finally arrived from York, and that must be bolstering the confidence of the Royalist army. We can see that they've put out the colours of their regiments in front of the lines, and they have been flourishing them, waving them in grandiose patterns and movements to taunt the Parliament army and to encourage their own. And now we can see that the Royalist army on its right flank has started to move, too late I think to try and recapture those artillery pieces, but nonetheless able perhaps to take some punishment to the chief of the Parliament who captured them. The real problem I think the Royalists have got is, as Robin said, a lot of their supplies still haven't arrived, and regardless of the bravery of the soldiers, without the powder and bullets, they can do very little. And we're now being overtaken by the advancing Parliament army, who are coming much more happily, I think, to challenge the Royalists on the Parliament right flank.
Well, I have just took opportunity to go amongst the ranks of the Parliament. This has been a deliberate ploy. They laid false evening meal fires to fool the Royalists. They are in fine battle, as you see, and they're eager for battle. They've caught the Royalists flat-footed, and they now have the impetus of the forced attack. Amongst their ranks, let's hear their you hear, they have much enthusiasm, and listen to the drums. Julie, over to you. What say you?
I can see on the far side of the field that Parliament and Royalists have engaged. Coming towards me from the Royalist side, they're coming up onto the Eastern Association.
We are going to take our life in our hands and go to the Royalist lines now, Julie, and try and give you information as to their thoughts this day.
You can see the 18-foot pipes, the material to stop the blood running down.
So I'm now amongst the ranks of the Royalists who have hastily left their evening meal and have reformed. They seem to have settled. They know what's expected of them. Must be 2 hours of daylight left. But these are steady troops who have fought some battles before. Amongst their ranks I do see some faces I know. Sir, what's your thoughts in such a late battle?
We will win the day, we will carry the day to the King.
That's all, sir. You'll just carry the day. Thank you, sir. And amongst them they have their drum corps. Julie, over to you, because my colleagues in the Royalist Army seem to be well disposed, and there's no fear amongst them and no panic.
Well, the parliamentarians seem very calm and collected. I think the preachers have been along, encouraging them to fight this day against the Royalists and what they perceive as the Catholic and the wrong king. It's very quiet at this side of the battlefield. On the far side, the cavalry and the pike are engaging.